Busted, another busy week as they all are at the minute, although thankfully for yourselves I imagine less travelling because of the double both being at home this week. But first off the back of the weekend, obviously had a couple of walking wounded really during the game and after full time, mainly Karen Lofthouse of course going off in the first half after a bit of a clash of heads early on, and Ed getting a broken nose I think towards the end of the game. So how are those two in particular looking this week?
Yeah, that was the big negative from the weekend really, was the fact that we suffered two big injuries to them two obviously big players for us. Lofty's just come in, but he was brilliant on his debut, and he started the game really well on Saturday, and he got his concussion from being really brave, as was their defender. It was really good defending from them as well. So he's going to have to serve the 7 days protocol that comes with concussion. Ed's broke his nose. Obviously the swelling's still on his face today, so we have to kind of see how that settles. Tomorrow might be too soon for him, but yeah, we'll have a look at him tomorrow, see how it's settled, and then see what his availability is like for the squad.
Yeah, but otherwise, apart from those two, and of course the result, mainly positive afternoon on Saturday performance-wise, particularly for us.
Yeah, I thought the performance was so good. We controlled the game in areas where we wanted to control it. We created chances in the first half, which obviously on other days we take, but some days you don't, and that's just football. But the way we conducted ourselves, how brave we were in possession, the way we tried to disorganise the opposition, everything that we've asked the boys to do, we felt that they worked so hard to stop the counter-attack. Our counter-press was so intense, which is what we demand really. I thought the performance was brilliant. I was so proud of the boys. Obviously 2 long journeys. Bromley were a really good side, with really good experienced players. We knew how hard it was going to be. The pitch wasn't conducive to how we like to play. The pitch wasn't great at all, but the boys still stuck to our way, and as I say, they were so brave and so courageous, and really, really proud of the performance that they put in. We lost the scoreboard for sure, which hurts, and which we will try and put right tomorrow. But in terms of the performance, we kept the momentum. We showed that we can go to these big clubs who always do well in the league and consistently in the playoffs. We showed that we can go there and we can put our stamp on the game, and we can really compete. And we did lose the game, but we lost playing the game our way, which is really important. You can't always decide how you win the games, but you can decide how you lose them, and we certainly did that with our performance. Yeah,
and on that thread, performance-wise, if you kind of had to really reinforce that to the boys to maybe not focus on the result too much, and that they did play well, or do they kind of know that within themselves already?
I think they know that the culture of the club from top to bottom is performance based. Obviously I know it gets a bit made fun of now, the process, in terms of trusting the process, but that is what the gaffers came in from day one, and he's wanted to implement, and I've said numerous times that we're really performance based, and we just want to get the best performances from the boys every day in training. And then we want it to look a certain way on match day. We have a game plan, a game model that we want to implement, and as long as the game model looks like what we're trying to work on, then we can't have any complaints. The boys are unbelievable. They work so hard every single day, and as I've just said, they're so brave, they're so courageous to get on the ball in them areas, that we literally can't fault them, and we won't fault them. We stick with them every single step of the way. We're in it with them, and we're all in it together. And tomorrow we want a reaction from the result, which hopefully we'll get.
Yeah, and you touch on tomorrow, of course, 2 games at home this week, which means you're back on grass as well, and you mentioned the artificial pitches before, but Wealdstone up first on Tuesday, and probably playing a little bit of a different style to the last time that you played them at home. I think when you look at themselves and Altrincham, really they're towards the upper end of the possession stats and things like that. So probably an interesting game for a neutral to watch, but how are you looking forward to tomorrow, particularly from your point of view?
Yeah, interesting game for us to watch as well, not just a neutral. We love these type of games. It's why you're in the job, because we love football, we love watching the game. They're going to come in, they're going to try and implement their style on us. They're going to want the ball, and they're going to try and keep and control the ball and hurt us in certain areas. And for us, it's about being as intense as we possibly can, being really aggressive, front-footed, trying to get after the football in every opportunity that we get, and trying to hurt them when we do have the ball. So I'm really looking forward to it. That's the good thing about this league. You get contrasting sides from one game to the next. And obviously Wealdstone are a really good side. They've got really good technical players, and they've got a good manager who sets his system out. He wants them to play a certain way, which obviously is similar to ourselves. So I'm looking forward to a really good game. I'm looking forward to see how our boys react to maybe at times not having as much of the ball and having to get after that ball, and in the chaos moments, how do we try and clean the ball, and how do we try and hurt them from the counter press, which is what we're looking to do all the time. So it's going to be a different game, but yeah, one which I'm really looking forward to seeing our boys and how they react.
Yeah, and not only the game tomorrow, of course, having the draw for the fourth round qualifying of the FA Cup today as well. Obviously a competition that since yourself and Mike have been on the management side, he's always done pretty well in, really, and I imagine the focus for that would be no different this time around.
Yeah, it's a competition that we want to do well in. We love the FA Cup. We loved having the games here, the Oldhams, the Charltons, the Stevenage from last year as well. We love them occasions. It really brings the community together. It gets a lot of people in the stadium, which is what we want. It gets seems the younger generation really get sort of gripped by the FA Cup, and they come along and watch. So yeah, we really want to do well in the competition. So we'll be interested to see the draw, but all our focus is on Wealdstone tomorrow. As you know, it's a day by day process. So looking forward to seeing who we get, but our thoughts are on Wealdstone and nothing else really.
Yeah, and back to tomorrow, obviously you mentioned Kyron and Ed with a bit of sort of injury double earlier on. If Ed does miss out, obviously that would mean a pretty enforced shuffle of the pack team-wise tomorrow. Obviously it's been quite unchanged for the most part in recent weeks, even though you've had quite a lot of games. On Saturday, of course, Panny travelled down and was in and around the boys, although he wasn't in the squad, and obviously you've mentioned he's kind of fit and potentially ready to come back into things now. So, as it is always kind of mentioned, when some players maybe have to drop out, it's a chance for others to come in and impress.
Yeah, certainly. Obviously, I don't need to stand here and tell everyone how big Ed Francis is for us. Everyone knows the see him play. He's unbelievable around the dressing room. He's the second captain for a reason. The boys love him in the change rooms, and obviously on the pitch he's a very good footballer. He's perfect for the way we like to play. He's a real calm influence on the ball. He's got such a high intelligence on the pitch, and obviously his background of Man City, you can see it comes through when he's on the pitch. He's really got that game intelligence, which is so important. But it's an opportunity for someone else to come in, whether it's in that position or another position. We've got such a good group, and I really feel for the boys who haven't been getting in, because it's a tough one. They want to see the boys do well, but they also want an opportunity to try and get in. So this'll open the door for someone. If Ed doesn't play, or if he is available, it still might open the door for someone. The gaffer might look to change things, and the group have trained really well today. I'm really proud of how they've trained today, because it's easy to come in on a Monday morning when you haven't been in the team, to come in and be a little bit down and your body language not be great, but the boys have been brilliant this morning. So we'll see how tomorrow goes in terms of team selection, but one thing's for sure, whoever we put in, we know that we're going to get a performance in terms of they're going to give everything and they're going to work as hard as they possibly can. So I'm looking forward to seeing that reaction as well.